Feeling a little chaotic, a little overwhelming? Do you feel a little hopeless? All of this, and I'm sure the people that are coming to my stuff have this sense of they've been on the awakening path, and yet maybe you're still finding yourself overwhelmed by current events. Let's work on that tonight. Let's see if we can support you tonight. So I just need your help to help you. I just need some comments. I just need someone raise their hand if they want to be worked on tonight. And we'll all get, you'll be in the hot seat, but everyone will get the sound therapy. So if you want to have a little bit of personalized attention, put it in the comments. In the meantime, let's just start grounding into this sound here. I love putting together sound therapy with spiritual life coaching. And so right now we're going to let this sound remind us of our innocence, coming back to that spiritual essence. It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be playful. It doesn't have to be anything. But it's this sense of love and this deep sense of peace. A lot of times we define it. We make it a form and structure. We say that, oh, unless it's giddy and light, I'm not there, right? That's not true. You've been reconnecting with your inner child. Beautiful. Inner child work is so beautiful. The first time I did inner child work was in the late 90s. And I was speaking, I was in the daycare industry, and I went to the national conference, and I was doing a talk there on a meditation and preschool. And one of the other speakers was an inner child person, worker and therapist. And I sat there and had a little session, and I remember sitting there for the first time. This was in 98 or 99. And I remember having my inner child on my lap and talking to her and hugging her. And it was such a profound experience using that inner child work. And now what I do is use that inner child work with sound, internal family systems. It's a beautiful way of using internal family systems with child work. And I use the voice to help connect with that inner child, with that internal family part of you. And Katja over here says she specializes. My friend Katja over here specializes in inner child work as well. So it's a beautiful path. It's a beautiful path. Yeah, Katja, if you want to write down any special tips or about working with your inner child, or if you want to put the link to your quiz, feel free. So let's go with that. Because when we go to that inner child, we can go to that inner child, that innocence, right? We can also play with the inner child that feels scared. That inner child that feels like it has to be a bully, or it has to be timid. It has to hide. So there's lots of ways to work with the inner child, right? We can go to that inner child and that innocence and that playfulness and enjoy that part of it. Or we can go to that inner child part of ourselves that needs reassurance and support, right? Katja says the best tip is, rather than neglecting my internal life, I can commit to it. And so committing to your internal life, really listening to that inner child. We have parts of ourself at every age that we've been, that didn't get heard and seen enough, that didn't have the time or the place to process its emotions. So we have so many ages of our inner children that didn't get seen and heard. Tonight we can see and hear them. We could do that, right? So the way we get clarity and we find inner peace is to talk to these parts of ourselves. So let's get this live rolling here. Press the share button, share it with a few folks, and let me see some emojis and what things you'd like to. You were born on high alert. Yeah, so there's that window of tolerance, right? And sometimes we're born with the window of tolerance being very, very narrow. And so we leave that window of tolerance and we go into that hyper-reactivity or hypo-reactivity. Both can create a hypervigilance. Katya says, I step into the energy of mother to extend comfort to the younger one within that feels distress. Beautiful. Yeah. How do we step into mothering ourselves? Hypervigilance, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, high alert, but that works too. Yeah, hypervigilance. I definitely have lived with that. When you live with adults that have not healed their trauma, you, like, whether it's someone that's had severe abuse or they're an alcoholic or substance abuse of any sort, and there's codependency there. Yeah, you're always tracking the environment. Is anyone a super tracker? Hi, Grace. Thank you. Is anyone a super tracker? Tracking every energy and mood in front of you to make sure you're safe? Yeah. So what I'd like to do right now is just to guide you guys on a little mini meditation. Hi, Kate. So for any of those overwhelmed and live with that hypervigilance, let's just take a nice deep breath in through the nose, pause, and then let it out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose, hold, and out through the mouth. Good. I want you to close your eyes and pause for a moment. And let's just come into our heart center, right? Coming into that heart chakra, letting the chimes and the sound bring you there. Letting the full breathing in through the back of the heart, exhaling out the front of the heart. Inhaling love, exhaling stress. Thanks for the follow, Stephanie. And now from there, tune into that young one who is very good at hypervigilance. Keep letting the sound bring you back and back, and see if you can meet the young one of you that decided hypervigilance was a good idea. What age was that? Put that age in the comments. If you have a sense of what age it was, just put that in the comments. When that young one decided hypervigilance was a good idea, a number might pop into your mind's eye. You might just have a knowing of it. You might hear a whisper in your ear. What age was that? What age did that habit of hypervigilance come into your emotional toolkit? The number 2 comes up for me. Yeah, it can be that far back. So tune into that young one. We've got 3 and 2. So see yourself as your inner child. 3, 4, 2. See that person, see that being right in front of you. Are they willing to look at you? Are they willing to connect with you? Take a nice deep breath. See if you reach out your hand. If they'll put their hand in yours. Yeah. This is just getting the age. It just helps us have a little clarity. It's not perfection. It's just following our own knowing around it. So follow that pure knowing you have and trust it. How many times have we been non-validated for the knowingness we've had? Well, tonight you're validated for it. Whatever number that comes up, that's the number we're working with, and it's perfect. And I might add, that's perfect awareness. So there you are with your young one, perhaps holding its hand. And then, as you're holding its hand, just say to it, we're okay. We've grown up. And you just say, you just let them know your age at that time. And you let them know is, what would you like me to hear? What would you like to be heard about? I'm here to listen and see if anything comes up. You just encourage that young being. I'm here to listen. What do you have to tell me? Sometimes they may not trust you right away. And just say, that's okay. Let's just listen to the pretty music together. And so we build a little trust up. Let's just build a little trust up and listen to the pretty sounds together. She likes to hide. And just ask the next question. Do you like to hide because you're scared? Or do you like to hide because you like to play? Thank you. A lot of times our young ones, they do like to hide, and it's because they're shy, and it's because they're scared. See if they'll tell you about that. But this is where I've worked with clients, where the young one is scared and it's hard to make connection. And this is where we use sound and voice and singing to calm that anxiety within the inner child. And it works really beautifully. So we'll do a little bit of that tonight. Keep focusing on this gentle chime. And let's sing to our inner children and see if that helps them stay more present with us and maybe share a little something with us. To begin the connection, I offer presence. Yeah. So that's what we're doing here now with the sound. Our hand is in, we're just offering our hand. We're being present with the sound and the music. And just tune into that young one. You as a young one, 2, 3, 4 years old. As you're standing there being present with them, perhaps holding their hand. Are they looking toward you? Are they willing to share anything? Just ask a question. Say hi again. See if the music helped them come a little closer and look you in the eye. And it's okay if it didn't. For those of you just tuning in or just working with one of our inner childs, the one that's on hypervigilance, the one that's on high alert or experiencing hypervigilance. We're talking to that inner child. We asked for what age that started, and we're just starting to make a connection and a relationship with this part of ourselves. Beautiful, Rhoda. Yeah, whatever comes through is perfect. You can tell them whatever you'd like, listen back. It's a moment to really connect and listen to each other, hear each other. Let the music give a nice little space, as if it's creating a little room of light for you to be in that allows you to have clarity and awareness of this relationship. Thank you, Abby. How we doing, everyone? Are you feeling centered in your heart space? Do you still have that young inner child that's still going through hypervigilance? Do you still have a vision of them? Have they shared anything with you? Are you able to stay present with them? This is just the beginning of the inner child work, just creating the relationship again, letting them know that you're here and who you are, and that you have the best, the highest intentions. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay that they're shy. Centered and grounded. Beautiful. So Katja over on YouTube says centered and grounded. So let's have that be our intention right now with our inner child. Centered and grounded. So as we go into some more sound healing, see if your inner child will just hang with you for the live. And as they get to know you, see if they let their guard down. See if they become less shy. And it's always just good, nice if they want to share with you, right? Sometimes what we're dealing with is kind of like the protector, right? And so we want to get to know what they're protecting. Want to get to know a little bit of their story, okay? So we're just centering and we're grounding into the heart space. Just being with these inner children, seeing if they'll warm up to us, seeing if they can use our support. And by doing this, then we start integrating. Eventually, we start integrating the inner children into the wholeness of ourselves. And that's when we can start redirecting the emotional habits we have of hypervigilance, right? So let's go into a little rhythm here. So keep with your inner children. Maybe see if they like the drum. Hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, ah, ah, hey. you. Take in that sound of the bowl. Notice your inner child. What sounds do they like? Did they light up with the drum? Do they like the chimes? Do they like the bowl? Let me know in the comments. We're hanging out with our inner child. That part of us that may have a habit of going on high alert, being hyper vigilant. It's that part of yourself that holds that habit. Oh, wonderful. You needed more? Okay, wonderful. Glad you're here. This is an F. So just take that in. Traditionally, F is used for the heart chakra, but you might feel it somewhere else. So follow what you know about this note and where you feel it in your body, where you sense it in your field, where you notice it in your energy system, the internal energy system and the outer energy system. Just notice. And notice if it starts calming the mind. You feel it in your heart, good. The weaving of the diverse sounds. Ah, it's beautiful. I'm so glad you think so, Katja. See if you can tone with this sound and see how it feels in your body when you tone with this sound. It's a wonderful thing to activate your voice into the instruments, the sound of the instruments. Yes, start using your voice. It's one of the things that I am a huge proponent of, and I teach as well, because using your voice is the most potent sound healing tool there is. Let yourself be sung. So beautiful beings, check in. Take a deep breath, check in with yourself, and then check in with your inner child. That window of tolerance may be small when we jump into hypervigilance, but the more we're aware of that window of tolerance and the more we heal our nervous system, the more that window of tolerance gets wider and wider. I know this because I had a very small window of tolerance, and now I have a pretty big one. Window of tolerance means that you can be in the world, you can be around what some would call stressful situations, and still be pretty chill. You just finished with your yoga. Good evening, Blossom. I don't know what that, sorry, that just came out. What did you say? I don't know. Let's see. Welcome, welcome, Blossom. Glad you're here. So we've had people doing yoga and sound baths tonight, and they just came back on here, and we're so glad to have you here. All right. I hardly ever go out of the house. You hardly ever go out of the house. Okay. And does that work for you, or do you wish you could go out of the house more? These are some things to think about. Are you intentionally pulling it in and hibernating because you have a small window of tolerance? A lot of times, guys, when we're on our awakening or healing journey, sometimes hibernating is a good thing, right? It's a season. But if you've noticed that it becomes more than a season of hibernating, then it might be time for a little bit of support, because it may be that your nervous system and needs a little support, and your subconscious needs a little clearing out, right? And when you heal the nervous system and you clear out the subconscious, you raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration to your your authentic state of being, space of being, you you have this you have this like inherent protection that makes everything feel okay. Like you're not going to be the effect of everything around you. Let's see. Katja says here, I got to do a chakra reading for a friend today, and I did a worthiness circle as well with a couple friends. Wonderful. Wow, that sounds like some rich experiences, Katja. Wonderful. What ahas did you have from all of that, Katja? And we said, I know these chimes are really nice, aren't they? Hi, Mom. That's not my mom, but it's just a little bit of both. Yeah. So, guys, when I do sound healing sessions, or when I'm training people to do spiritual voice, we go into a lot of subconscious reprogramming. It's actually the biggest part of the program that I do, is detoxing the physical body, the emotional body, the energy body, the witness body, and the spiritual body, and I teach how to clear it actually with the voice. But however you clear it, it needs to be cleared. It needs to be detoxed. The wounding needs to be healed. Um, and I've worked with a lot of people that asked me, what do you do for protection? Or I've been through a lot of trainings where they give you all these types of practices to do protection. And what I've always noticed is that if I consciously am working on my vibration, which means I'm healing the subconscious so I can sit in the seat of my higher consciousness more of the day, then that is my protection. And one of the things I like to do is solidify my high vibration with a sound. So if I'm feeling really peaceful, I let out a sound. And I call that the somatic vortex note. And with that note, then whenever I get a little triggered or I get a little, the day gets a little bumpy, I let out that note and it brings me back to peace instantly. It's beautiful. Yeah. So these are some of the practices that I do and I work with. What kind of yoga did you do, Blossom? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yin yoga. Oh, I love yin yoga. That's wonderful. Yeah, so these chimes are great for coming out of yin yoga. All right, how is anyone still working with their inner child, or did they put their inner child back to sleep? Is your inner child still holding your hand? Thank you for the hearts. Hi there, green gears. We're doing a little sound healing. We're talking about, oh, thank you for those rings. Talking about some inner child or bracelets there. We're doing a little sound healing to see if we can encourage the relationship and calm the nervous system, to see if we can talk to our inner child. Your inner child is driving the car. What? Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean your kid is driving the car? Does that mean you are driving the car, but your inner child's driving and you're having a blast driving the car? Does that mean your inner child is in charge of your life? What's going on? What's going on? Is anyone's inner child ready to playing with my long skirt? Thank you for doing your part. Thank you. Thank you for showing up here too. Guys, it's, that saying, be the change that you want to see in the world, right? That's it, guys. That's it. There's no out there. When we're starting to feel hopeless, we just have to be the change that we're looking for, right? And that's really how the law of attraction works. That's really how the law of vibration works, that there really is no out there. We work from in here, and this starts to present differently. Let's see here. We got some stuff here. Oh, we got a few things here. Healing from an inflammation episode in my gut this weekend, and this is calming. Oh, I'm so glad. We'll do some more for the gut healing. I'm kidding. My inner child is running the show. I'm working on shifting out of the reactions. Good for you, Danielle. So much inner child wants to create. Think I may go draw now. Beautiful. By the way, good evening to. So yes, Danielle, thanks for being here and welcome. So yeah, if your inner child starts to be ignited into creativity, art and music and songwriting and just movement is a wonderful way of connecting with your inner child. Perhaps that is the basis of light language, right? The lightness of our inner child coming through. But yes, if you feel inspired to draw, sing, dance, move, just let that inner child express. And from that expression, you might get some clarity around what they're holding, what they're going through, so that you can see. It's like when you witness a kid's piece of artwork, right? You just witness it, right? Rather than saying it's good or it's bad, you just witness it. And you ask them, tell me about it. Tell me about this art. Yeah. mentioned their gut healing. Think about this. What's your gut saying? What's your gut telling you, right? These sayings didn't come out of the ether, right? So when we are having a gut issue that's manifested in the physical, perhaps it started out by not knowing that our gut was talking to us and not knowing that we had a gut instinct, right? So, how can we become better listeners? How can we enhance our awareness to listen to that gut? You know, listen to your gut. Because if we don't, intuition gets louder. That intuition turns into emotions, feelings, and thoughts. And if we're not hearing those, then it clogs up the energy systems, the chakras and the nadis and the meridians. And if we don't catch it there, we don't catch it in the breath, then it turns into a physical manifestation. And that physical manifestation doesn't feel good. It literally hurts physically. But you can follow that whole thread all the way down to it where the intuition was trying to get your attention. And the biggest thing is separation. We've separated from our spiritual center. That's the biggest thing our intuition tells us. You're separating from your spiritual center. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was a call to move out of my current work as well as moving to eating cleaner foods. Good for you. I've been learning to view illness as a spiritual experience. Yes, yeah. So back in my late 20s, I'm 53 now. Back in my late 20s, I was studying yoga and yoga therapy. And this is where I learned the model of the five koshas. The five koshas is a yogic map that talks about these five levels of our existence and how they're kind of all interrelated. And this path of spiritual separation and how it turns into a physical manifestation. So, yes, you are absolutely 100% correct that illness is a spiritual experience. Yeah. Katja, anything to chime in about? um, so let's heal the gut. What we're going to do right now is I want to get this fork out. This is 528 hertz. Okay. This is a solfeggio tone and it's a very high frequency. You are the creator of your health. Love it. I've been saying a lot, I am the dreamer of this dream. And I dream that I am functioning from a very thriving, healthy body. And I'll say I reject and destroy this sickness because I know I am in the likeness and image of God, of source. And I'm the dreamer of this dream, and that dream is of complete vibrant health, and I will have it no other way. Thank you very much. um, could you share about the koshas? I sure will. I sure will. And so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, and definitely follow me over on YouTube, guys, too, because I never know if this app's a little squirrely. So definitely follow me over on YouTube too, because if something happens to this app, I'll be continuing the lives over on YouTube. And that link is over in my bio link. All right, so I'm going to do this fork, and then we're going to get into the five koshas because someone asked to learn about some more. Okay, but the 528 is going to help with your third eye and your intuition. Okay, now we're going to just ask for, well, our intention with this is to open up some clarity in the third eye so that our intuition can connect with our gut, and we can hear the initial awareness that was trying to come through for one of you that had the gut issue. So yeah, and so we're not going to open your third eye prematurely. It'll whatever's going to happen is for the highest good, and just by listening to this 528, we're asking this intuition to connect with the gut and give you the information that you need. Okay? So this is 528. Can you guys hear it? Gotcha. Can you hear? Yeah, oh good. Okay. Wonderful. So just take this in. We're asking our intuition to open up, and we're asking our gut instinct to give us the information that's there so that we can be really good listeners at that. Our gut instinct doesn't have to be pain. It's a sensing, it's an extra sensing. That's all. It becomes a pain if we don't listen. Make sense? And just, you know, looking into good probiotic and prebiotic. Because the way that I learned yoga therapy was that we definitely want to focus mostly on the spiritual realm, but we also want to, whatever level of existence that your discomfort it is in, we should have a little support in every one of those koshas. So I'm just going to keep playing this while I talk about the five koshas. So the five koshas is basically a map of understanding our humanness, and it's part of the Ayurvedic and yoga science. And usually it's five of them. So five koshas, meaning the physical body, the energetic body, which includes the chakras and the breath, um, the mental emotional body, then you have the witness intuition body, and then you have the bliss body or spiritual body. Those are your five bodies. I also call them the levels of existence. And in my Mastering the Art of Being Sung program, when we detox all these areas, I break it down into 6 bodies because I feel like the emotions and the thoughts are two different things. So the mental emotional body, you can break that up because you can use your voice in different ways to work out the thoughts and the emotions. So I break them up into 2 different levels. So yeah. And so it's not all the time linear, the 5 koshas, right? But when we are working with a disease process or dis-ease process, as a yoga therapist, we would take into account each kosha and how to support it in the program, in the one-on-one session or in the group session. And so when I do my sound healings, privates, I definitely like to look at all 5 or 6 bodies, koshas. So I combine my yoga therapy background with my sound therapy background. Um, I think it's a really great holistic model. How are you guys feeling with this sound? How is it working you? You can even try to hum to this. Can you hum to this? Hmm. 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 Feels good. So I'm starting a new Mastering the Art of Being Sung. It's a 6-week program. It's coming up on March 1st. So if anyone wants to jump in on that, um, and if you'd like to learn more about it, just you can go sign up for a free discovery call, 30 minutes free. Just, tell me about your hopes, desires, soul calling, what you want to do with your voice. And I can give you some tips and tell you about my deeper programming. Um, so yeah, that's over my bio link. You can sign up for that. The link is to sign up for a free discovery call is there if you want that. Hello, Joseph, and Danielle's here. Elaine. Um, so yeah, so that's the koshas. And you can use so many different tools, right? The yoga tools. You have the physical postures, you have the pranayama, you have the energy work, the yogic energy work, pranavidya. You have nada yoga, which is the yoga of sound. um Chants, right? So that's the one I like the best, is using the chanting and the sounding and the oh, thank you. With Katja, we just got this pretty purple heart over here. That was really great. Yeah, go check it out. Go check out the free discovery call. Um, all right, guys, one more, and then we'll go to a little bit of vocal energy healing. So the thing is, when you do all that clearing, that detoxing and emptying of the subconscious through the 5 koshas, you raise your vibration and you become the energy. So Michael Beckwith talks about 4 areas of awakening. The first is we live kind of in the victim of cause and effect of our lives. But the second one is manifesting. We start to see that, our thoughts create our reality and we manifest. Then the third level is channeling. Oh, we open ourselves enough to channel an energy. And then the fourth level is beingness. So that's the level that I teach, is this beingness that happens after you detox, because you're there. It's not like we have to become something. We're already who we are. We just have to remove the programming and the clouds. So we are being. We just have to bring that beingness to the forefront, right? So I call it our spiritual center. We're going to bring that spiritual center forward, right? So if the spiritual center is the sun, sometimes it's clouded over with certain shadows, inner child wounding, trauma, thought patterns, belief systems, forms and structures, all that kind of stuff. Think of those as the clouds. So what I do with people is help them release those clouds. That spiritual center that they already are shines forth, and I teach you how to sing that, be that, and sing that. So that is, Michael Beckwith says, that's the fourth level of awakening, is your beingness. And, but it requires going through the shadow realms. If you guys are interested in this kind of work, let me know. I can send you the link to my Facebook page. It's called Vocal Toning for Manifesting Inner Peace. And I posted there a video of one of my teachers. He's passed since, but I took a metaphysical minister training, and all his work was what we learned. Paul Masterson, and he is oh my gosh, his talks are amazing. But he talks about, we really have to clean out. We really have to take the garbage out. We really have to clear out the subconscious so that we can live more fully in the higher mind and the higher self. And so I really, before I even took that training, I just, yeah, this makes so much sense to me, is like detoxing vibrationally. And recently I just found that talk of his on there, and that's over on my Facebook page. Um, But yeah, we got to detox the subconscious. We've got to become really um, clear about who we are. And it's hard to know who we are when we have these other voices saying, no, 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 you're this, you're scared, you're this. Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body. Freud calls it oops, the ego, right? The ego and the id. Um, Yoga has a term for it. Rajastic, I think it's called. But what is that term in yoga? I think it's Rajastic. But it's when your mind, your lower mind just keeps, bantering and telling you things that you're not actually, right? Because really the truth of us is love. And let's see, Katya says, I get the interference out of the way. I love that. So Katya over here on YouTube says, get the interference out of the way. Yeah. So when we get the interference out of the way, when we get the clouds out of the way, we are just beingness. And from there, we can do, speak, know, you know. And so I think over on my YouTube channel, I have like 1,000 videos over my YouTube channel. I was very into it during COVID, and one of the videos I think was about channeling. That we don't. What would I was saying something about channeling that. Um, I was saying something kind of like edgy about channeling, but now I understand it. It's just like channeling is one of the phases we go through, but what we're coming through with channeling is beingness. And when you're being, so like when I sing these healing tones from my voice, I'm not, I sometimes I call it channeling just to get, just for like to get people to understand a little bit what's coming through. But it's not channeling, it's being, right? And I don't really have to do much to like, a lot of people when they're channeling, they have to like put themselves over, they have to do a whole little ritual and stuff. For me, it's just my beingness. It's the frequency that I be. And sometimes I do say, I am light, and then just to kind of focus the intention. But yeah, each of us are, when we're living from love, is a healing beingness. It's a loving beingness. And that is a beautiful thing to bring through your voice and to offer people. Hi, Kimberly. So let's do a little bit of that. Let me get my moon drum out. I love these frame drums. Okay, so this is my big moon drum. Ah. We've been here a whole hour already. All right. Okay, so here we go. Allow yourself to just calm down. We're calming the brain waves down, coming from alpha down to theta brain waves, coming into our creativity, our imagination, our subconscious. We're saying hi to all of it, being present there. So visit one of them right now. Creativity, imagination, subconscious. Where do you want to play? Now, wherever you're in, the creativity, the imagination, or the subconscious, ask a question. What's here for me? What's here for me to love, create, or heal? And see what shows up. Oh Oh, eh, oh, eh. Oh, eh, oh, eh. Oh, eh, oh, eh. Now start to come on back. Let go of the subconscious. Creativity, imagination, only bring back what feels good. Put your hands together and bow with a namaste to whichever place you visited within you. Take a deep breath. Blow it out. And let us know in the comments how that journey was for you. How was that journey? Where did you visit? Any awareness come through? Oh. High voltage hippie, hello. Thank you for that. Thank you for all the stars. I got some small and but mighty groups on these lives. Wow, we got 6,000 likes. Thank you. Hello, hello. This is the Terra chime. It's the earth chime. So we're just going to ground a little bit. Oh, good. Yeah, take a look. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome. Would love to have you there. Had the sense I have been living inside my pain body. Wow, that's a great awareness, right? It's easy to live inside our pain body. The ego is very convincing it that it's who we are. And so I've been working at reading the Course in Miracles, which is a book. Has anyone heard of the Course in Miracles on here? It's a book. It's a practice for inner peace. And you know, it's profound. I studied it when I was 28 and I'm studying it again. Yeah, it's I'll be reading this book till the day I die. So profound. Actually, I would like to share something with you. I read just the other day. I wrote it down in my journal because it was such a profound. It's called The Course in Miracles. It's a year-long study. It has a text and has a workbook page for every day of the year. So there's lessons in it like this. Okay, you guys see that? I'll do that here first and there. So each lesson, there's a lesson for every day. And then there's a text. Okay, so here is what I wrote the other day that was from the Course in Miracles. Guys, this book blows me away every single time. Now, when you look at the book, supposedly it's a channel from Jesus, and it's they use the words Holy Spirit and God in it, and they use the pronoun he. It was written, I thought it was the 50s, but I think it's like the 60s and 70s it was written. So if you can get over the terminology and just take the message, it'll change your life. Like it'll show you how the ego is playing so intensely on making you see that, trying to make you see that it's the pain body is you, but it's not. So anyway, listen to this. This was so beautiful. I like how this was worded. In many, only the spark remains. The great rays obscured, but God has kept the spark alive. The rays can never be forgotten. If you but see the spark, you will learn of the greater light, for the rays are the unseen. In returning, the little light must be acknowledged first, for the separation was a descent from magnitude to littleness. But the spark is still pure as the great light, because it is the remaining call of creation. Put all your faith in it, and God itself will answer you. In denying to see the light in others, I deny the essence of God. Allegiance to the denial of God is the ego's religion. What? So basically, our job is to see the light in every individual. We need to recognize that spark in ourselves and that spark in each person. And the more we focus there, the more it goes from a spark to a ray. And we are the ray. So think about it. Here's the sun, right? The sun of allness, the sun of source, the sort of sun of great spirit, the sun, right? The bright light. And it creates and has a ray, it has the rays of the sun. The sun cannot be without its rays. It just is that way, right? And the ray, the sun ray, can't even be if without the sun. So they can't be without each other. We are the ray, and source, God, great spirit, is the sun. Yeah, I just love this part. The allegiance to the denial of God, of the great spirit, of source, of universal light, whatever you want to call it, is the ego's religion. And that was such a huge aha to me. The allegiance to the denial of God is the ego's religion. And it's so true. Gosh, it's so true. But that is where we get stuck in our pain body. That is the ego's realm. Yeah. And some would say that that would be like the wounded ego, but the Course was very specific about all ego is what created the separation from source. And that there's only one true reality, and that's the eternalness of light and love. Everything else is dies. Everything else is not eternal, so it's not real. It's a story that's playing out. And so when we start seeing this way, we don't get as ruffled in the day-to-day life that's not the eternal reality, right? But it's a lot to get there, to think in these ways that the Course is asking us to think from. It's very different. I remember reading it when I was 28, and it felt like the rug was pulled out from under my whole reality. It was now I've had many years of spiritual training and practice and stuff like that, I'm reading it again with just like, oh my God, it's like nectar to me. But at 28, it was a rough start to life. It was like, whoa. And it was interesting because we studied it with a big group at Unity Church in Boulder. And it started out with like 120 people in the group. And then it, by the end of the year, there was only 6 of us left in the group that studied the whole year. You're 28, and last year had my biggest eye-opening. Wow. Yep, that's really cool. Nice. That's really funny. But it's actually kind of it's kind of par for course, like between 28 and 31, I think, is something called the Saturn return astrologically. So a lot of times we have some big awakenings, big ahas, Your Saturn return is coming. Okay, yeah. I think mine was a little later. I think it was like around 31. And interestingly enough, I met my husband at 31. I got pregnant at 31. And life changed big time. So yeah, 28. Hold on. Wee. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, any other questions you have about anything we did today? Is everyone's inner child feeling okay? Did they get tucked back in? You have a mission now, but it's going to be a lot. Well, it's a lot and then it's all the same thing, you know? When I look back in retrospect, now being 53, I look back and realize that um, it was a lot, and then it was all a lot of nothing, a lot of distraction, and really, we there? Okay. Um, I think your type of healing is very likened to what I need to create. I'm so glad you found this too. I feel like that's what happens when I look at my path through the years. Yeah, like where my mind and heart is, just like that, the next path just keeps showing up. So it's beautiful. So I hope we can connect again, maybe through a free discovery call or another program or just these lives, whichever you'd like. But yeah, I'd love to support you on your journey. Yeah. All right, guys. Does anyone have anything else um, they'd like to work on before we say goodnight? Um, One of the things that I like to do before bed is show you a point for insomnia. Um, I know sleep stuff can be tough for some people. Does anyone have? Oh, well, I have so much gratitude for you guys. Thank you so much for being here and having, it's just nice to have someone to share, with. So I'm grateful for you back. Thank you so much. Um, if you have trouble sleeping, there is a point right here. Okay, see that? See this little knob here? Okay, it's right below that. So if you bend, and it's going to be a point right about there, right under that knobby thing. If you push there, it's an acupressure point for to help with sleep. Okay, but if you have a tuning fork, a weighted tuning fork, you can do is hit it and set it on that spot. Okay. And so I've been doing this before bed lately because I traditionally have problems falling asleep. And so if you have a tuning fork, place it right on that spot. It's called the Shenzhen point. You put it right on there. So in sound therapy school, I went to the Globe sound healing school, or Globe, I forget the name of it, the Globe Sound School. I have a advanced certification in sound therapy. And we learned tuning forks on all the Chinese meridians. That was a very intense class. I don't have it all memorized, but I know how to look it all up. But this point here is very good for insomnia. And then you can hum along with it. Because humming can create a vagal tone, which calms your whole nervous system down. There we go. So there's two types of forks, guys. There's the weighted kind, which you put on your body, and then there's the non-weighted. And the non-weighted, you just kind of put through the whole field, okay? and the weighted ones you can place on your body. You can also get a crystal. This isn't a crystal, but I'll show you. You can place the crystal on your spot that you want, and then you can place this on the crystal. The vibration goes through the crystal, and the crystal medicine goes through into your body. So it's kind of cool. Um, I kind of don't do crystal therapy anymore. I had them all stolen out of my car, and I saw it as a sign that I needed to move on from crystal therapy. Yeah, that was some years ago when so I'm a Reiki master, and I was doing some Reiki with someone. I was actually volunteering with a woman, a 19-year-old who had brain cancer, and I was doing Reiki, and I brought my crystals, and we were doing music together. And when I left her house from the session, um, I had the bag of crystals sitting on um, the seat of my car. And I went into the YMCA to take a class. And when I came out, someone had shattered my window and taken that bag of all my crystals and all. I'm a songwriter, so I had all my songs and stuff in there. And they took the whole bag, and we couldn't find it anywhere. And it was pretty upsetting at the time, but, and I was just like, I just came back from volunteering, you know what I mean? Like, I was just trying to do so much good in the world, and then someone takes this, and I was like, "What is that about?" But, it took a little while to get over that, but then I realized that I could send Reiki to the crystals. So I was like, "It's gonna send Reiki to the crystals, so if these people have the crystals," most likely they threw the bag out because they didn't find anything that expensive in there, but I sent Reiki to the crystals in hope that the crystals would give them Reiki and perhaps, you know, offer a healing because stealing out of someone's car, and it was a real pain in the butt. I had to go through insurance, and I had to get it all fixed and everything, and not only that, and then losing some really precious things. Um, so it was a big lesson. So I don't have crystals anymore because, and then I realized that, I don't particularly need them. Did not go back for my second attunement. Oh my goodness, that's very upsetting. Yeah, it was upsetting at first for sure, but n- um, yeah, but it's water under the bridge now. I just like telling the story because I love that I sent Reiki, because you can send Reiki to the quartz crystals, and they hold the love, they hold the Reiki. So if they were working with the crystal, they were getting the Reiki. And so, yeah. So, well, guys, as you can see, I'm getting a little sleepy. And tomorrow morning, every Tuesday morning, we meet on these lives again for 3 minutes of love. So if you want to be part of that group, just come back here either on YouTube or TikTok. And it's 8:45 a.m. Mountain Time. So we gather the group, we do a little chanting, and we start focusing the love energy. And then at the top of the hour, we hold the love frequency for 3 minutes. And I do some toning of the love frequency. And we do that as a collective because when two or more people hold a love frequency, it creates a reality. We're creating a love reality in the collective. So the more the merrier. Let's see, you're beautiful. Have a beautiful night. Yeah, try to join for sure. Um, because yeah, we do this every Tuesday. It's been a whole year now that we've been doing it. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna build the love vibe, and it gives people a sense of like hope that they're doing something, we're being the change that we want to see. Right? We have to be the love frequency. So we do that for 3 minutes, and then we meditate for a little bit, and it's just about a half hour together, but I think it's a potent half hour. Katja's always there, and so I hope you can be there too. Yeah. Yeah, guys, my little heart for you. Yeah, we gotta do our part. We gotta do our part. Um, but, yeah, I am sleepy. I did a spin class today, and oh my gosh, that biking is tough. It's a little tough. So, I am gonna go wind down and try to get some sleep so I'm ready for the live in the morning. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night. La da da dee da da. La da dee da da da. Ooh dee ah. Ah, la da da dee doo 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 doo. What is that from West Side Story? All right, Katja, I hope to see you tomorrow morning. Have a beautiful night's sleep. So we're going to say goodbye to YouTube right now. Bye bye. And then we'll say goodnight.